Okay, let's continue where I left off. We had talked when I was reviewing the last time about the 6 dimensions of well-being. Refer to page 405. We talked about the guidelines for enhancing mood. That's on 411. Go back and take a look at that. Differentiating between acute and chronic effects from exercise. We talked about what hardiness is. Again, know the different stages of change that are umbrellaed under the trans-theoretical model. Be able to recognize which of those stages, if I were to describe one. And let's just fast forward. We had talked about all the reasons and the benefits for exercising, but what are the most common reasons that people give to not exercise? The top of the list is lack of time. They just say they don't have time. But as the text says, that's really perceived lack of time, followed closely by they just don't have the energy. So lack of time and lack of energy are the two top reasons that people give. And then also they just don't have the motivation. And we've had already our chapter on motivation and how to increase motivation. So whether in sport or with exercise adherence, motivation is also a factor. But the primary reasons, again, are lack of time and lack of energy. Another thing we try to do both to motivate and to stay focused is what we call a prompt. And a prompt is a cue to help you think in a positive way. So we've talked about prompts to make you think of yourself in a positive way. Maybe you had a prompt to think of what makes you unique and special. But if you look on page 447 in this chapter on exercise, behavior, and adherence, it talks about what a prompt is. So let's look at page 447. So prompt is a cue that initiates behavior. And so you could come up with any kind of a word or words from 1 to 3 words, and they could be motivational, they could be instructional, anything that's positive. And when we get into the chapter on effective communication, we will talk about 4 different types of self-talk. And the 4th type of self-talk are cue words or prompts to make you think in a positive way. But here we see the use of prompts in the chapter on exercise. And so not only can they be verbal or cue words that we come up with, but prompts are also posters. It says right here we can post posters, slogans, notes. You can have them in visible places and any kind of emotional support. You can get prompts from people who are your accountability partners. And so that's really, really important. So you can see that on page 447. And the other term that we've talked about before when we covered personality is profile of mood states. It's dubbed, the acronym is POMS, P-O-M-S. POMS, the profile of mood states. We can evaluate an individual by giving certain personality tests to see whether they would perform well, whether it's in sport or exercise. But this POMS assessment that we can give in terms of exercise is one of the best predictors of whether or not an individual will adhere to an exercise program. So I'm going to stop there. Those are the concepts and terms that you will see on the quiz that you take on Thursday. So you'll go online and you have anywhere from 5:30 in the morning before midnight to finish the test, multiple choice questions, and you have 75 minutes, which is a full class period. So I know you're going to do great. Think of self-efficacy. If you have any questions, let me know, and I know you guys are going to do absolutely fantastic.